Good morning. I had a hard time sleeping because I was very excited for this birthday party I was going to the next day. And, well, I couldn't sleep, so I just got up 2 o'clock in the morning and I just had to get some twisting done. So I thought I'd get started. Or at least do a few. That was my intention. But as a result, I stayed up all night long making about 25 of these guys in different colors. If you saw my short, you'll know what I'm making already. But just in case you haven't seen one of my shorts, this is the long version of how I made it. I'm working with a balloon called a 350. It's made from the sap of the rubber tree. It's natural latex. This is the Qualitex brand. What I've done is I've done what's called dog legs. For those of you who do balloons, dog legs are when you go up and down and return. This is a classic move when you first learn balloon animals in making the balloon dog. And then an advanced technique is to use a pinch twist as an anchoring point and wrap the remaining balloon around the 2 sets of dog legs to make the torso, legs, and tummy of this sculpture. Now, instead of using an entire balloon, I cut these balloons in half and I'm just inflating the part I need in each of these balloons. Since I'm doing a lot of these characters, I have cut a whole bunch of this color in half, but if you're doing just one character, you only need 2. Now you don't want to fully inflate those halves because what we're going to do, some people call it the marriage twist. I just keep it simple in my head and I just think of it as a different kind of tulip twist. It's when you take 2 different balloon segments and you tie them together. But it's more than just tying. I'll show you in a minute. I'm searching here. Where did it go? Where did it go? I'm sitting on it. My grandfather always said, if you can't find it, you're sitting on it. It means it's always been right. Now, since I'm making a whole bunch of these, I'm using a measuring tool, just a plastic stick. I'm doing what's called a deep tulip twist. Sometimes your finger's not long enough, so sometimes you need a stick, a chopstick, a pencil, a dowel rod, and sometimes the sharp edge breaks the balloon and there's a leak. Start again. This is a good thing you have more than one inflated. I push it into the mark. That way each of these components are the same size. What I've done is I've caught the knot, twisted it, and I'm pushing the knot back into the main body. I'm using a razor to cut off, and now I'm tucking that rolled knot back into the main body even further and curving. This is going to be the hand of this character. And the remaining balloon I'm wrapping around, and this is what I'm going to use to attach the hand to the arm. Now, just in case things get undone, it's a good idea to tie the piece you're attaching on, just to give it a little more security. And now I just do another tulip twist. I put it in with my finger, catch the knot through the side, and then I push the knot back into the wrist. And it just holds. It's really amazing how air pressure works with the latex balloons. And here we're going to do it again. Now that I have 2 arms, I'm getting the body, and I'm using perspective, just the way it looks, to judge how long I want my arm and where I want the arm to end up at. And once I figure out where I want it, I'm going to place a pinch twist. A pinch twist is when you do 2 twists separating a single bubble, and then you twist those 2 pieces together, or those 2 twist points together, and it causes that bubble to pinch tight, and that's why it's called a pinch twist. After the pinch twist, I do what's known as a spacer bubble. If I want the arms to go hang straight down, this character balloons are rounded, and you have to compensate for that roundness. So you go away from the main body of the balloon that this is going to be attached to, so the arms hang straight down. And then I get the second arm, and I use the same, I compare it to the first arm, and I'm going to put it through the torso area. The torso area is a little shorter than the legs. Then I get the second arm, and now I tie it tight, and then the pressure should pull the knot to the center. There we go, we have the body. Now it's time to do the head. Again, those arms were using a size 260. And here for the head, I'm using a 260 with a 350. The 350 color is called goldenrod, and the green is called lime. The goldenrod is the perfect color to make Lego characters with. Now this is a technique. If you bend a balloon and you pull and stretch the latex, every time you do it, the latex heats up and the air can distort it, and you can make it actually bigger. And so this is how I can mold the balloon so it has a peak. Now the character I'm making is from Ninjago. I'm trying to duplicate how their masks peak at the top to suggest kind of a crown, and it peaks again on the bottom for like a bandana effect. After I twist the lime balloon, you saw that I took the nozzle of the goldenrod balloon and wrapped it around several times to keep my 260 flopped to that opposite side from the goldenrod. Now I'm doing an accent. I really like the Ninjagos that have the golden crown. So I have a little bit of balloon for the end of the scarf, a pinch twist so I can secure it in the back of the head, and then I connect to the side of the face. I wrap it around. You saw me do a few extra pinches. This is also known as a shock twist to distort the top of the gold balloon. Wrapped around the green side and then connected it to that back pinch twist. Now cutting off a little bit for the wraparound bandana. Now we don't need any more of the goldenrod, so I cut it off, and to keep the air from leaking, I twist and I wrap it around several different balloons. The downside of that technique is the more you wrap it around, the more you can see the goldenrod at that juncture. But if you don't make balloons, you might not pay attention to that. And then I cut the remainder of the lime balloon And I'm using it to go under and over the body and attach to the head. And at this point, my character's almost done. Now we just need to add a little bit of marker art. Since I'm making 20 of these, I want the eye placement to be pretty close to the same. So I just used a piece of printer paper, drew some eyes, and then used a pair of scissors to cut them out. Just a rough cutout. And then I just used this as the guide to do a little bit of marking. It's not perfect because it's paper. It's not really a stenciling tool. But then I use it to just fill in, and I make the eyes just a little bit larger. And then I use the chisel edge of the marker I'm using to add character to the eyebrows, doing some thin lines, some thick lines. And now I need to do some decoration on his shirt to make it look more like a ninja. This is a body that could be used for just about anything depending on the color and what you add to it, or in balloons, or draw on it. I thought about drawing the detailed characters, but that would take a lot of time, so I decided just to do this simple letter Y and the letter S interlocked. Hello, I'm a Ninjago character. See you at the birthday party.